Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I'm really excited to test out this brand new solar panel from Renogy, the Shadow Flux 200 watts. Now what makes this panel unique is that it's designed specifically for partial shading performance, a first from Renogy. Instead of the traditional monocrystalline or per se cells, the Shadow Flux uses N-Type TOPCon cells, which offers higher efficiency and smaller footprint. Now, if you take a closer look, each solar cell has 16 bus bars. That means better hotspot performance, lower resistance, and ultimately more wattage. It's built to keep pushing out power even in less than ideal conditions. Now, this panel is compact. The 200-watt Shadow Flux measures 30 inches by 50 inches, giving it a footprint of about 1500 square inches. It's smaller and lighter than many other in its class, making it perfect for a rooftop setup or a mobile setup where space matters, like on top of your RV. Now, before testing, I made sure that the panel was angled perfectly toward the sun, using the good old phone trick. Just place a phone on top and tilt the panel until the shadow disappears. Simple and effective. Now we've got clear skies as of right now. We have a little bit of clouds there, and it's kind of on and off right now because it's a little bit windy, and it's actually -1 degree right now outside. Just a few days ago, it actually snowed here really bad. Nevertheless, let's see how the Renogy does even with this weather. Now for testing, I'm using an EcoFlow Delta with an XT60i adapter to get max power input from the panel. Let's plug it in and see what we get. Now with full sun, the panels are putting out about 200, fluctuates down to 190, close to 200 watts, which is pretty impressive considering the season and temperature. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This panel is made to perform under partial shading, so I ran several tests to see how it holds up. Now the output dropped just slightly as we cover 2 cells of it at around 190-ish watts here, which is actually barely any drop at all. Now the second test, we're gonna cover about 8 cells shaded, and the output was still strong at around 180, close to 175 watts. Now for the third test, we're gonna do a full shadow across the panel. Still, I was surprised it manages to push out 145, 150-ish here, which is amazing considering most panels would just drop to almost zero. Now in test 4, I basically had the trash can right in front of it to block out most of the sun, and it still puts out 150 watts with it. Basically unheard of for most rigid panels. So yeah, this panel really lives up to the Shadow Flux name. Now one thing to note is that the Shadow Flux has a higher operating voltage than your typical 12-volt solar panel. So I test this out with my DJI Power 1000, and it wasn't able to charge it at all because the voltage is higher than what it could handle. The open circuit voltage is 36.5 volts and the operating voltage is 31.3 volts. So make sure your charge controller or power station supports that before hooking it up. Also, another note is that some smaller stations actually max out at around 28 volts. And this panel would be too much for those. Now let's compare this with the DJI Power 1000 and its solar panels, the portable ones. And these are two 100-watt panels, and they actually put out pretty well from my past test. But let's see how well it does with the Renogy. As you could see here, it's actually putting out 201 watts here for the 2 panels, which is really good. But the problem with this is the next test. I only blocked out 1 cell, a couple of cells here, and it already dropped at 190 to 170 watts, which is a pretty surprising drop considering I only blocked a little bit. On the next test, I basically blocked out a quarter of the 100 watt solar panel, and the wattage already dropped at 150 watts, as if I blocked out half of it. And for our last test here, I blocked out basically half of the solar panel, just blocking half of that 100 watt solar panel. It makes that solar panel useless. But with the Renogy, with the N-Type panels, when we blocked out half the panels, we are still getting at around 150 watts with it, which is really good compared to this one. Now let's look at pricing. The shade tolerant solar panels are typically pretty expensive and has that premium price. But if we're looking at this, the MSRP is $299, but it's actually currently on sale for $254.99, which comes out to about $1.19 per watt. And that's a great price for this level of performance. It's actually cheaper per watt than many smaller, less powerful shade tolerant panels, like the Shade Stopper 100 watts or the 6 100 watts, while offering double the power. Now, when I saw this on Renogy's website, I was really curious to see how it would hold up. And I have to say, it did not disappoint. You're getting a rugged, glass-covered, efficient panel that won't shut down the second it hits a shadow. And at this price point, honestly, it's a solid buy. Now, big thanks to Renogy for sending this out for testing. I'm glad that I got to check it out and share it with you guys. Let me know what you think about the Shadow Flux 200 watts down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys there. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!